I had no money when I started my first company, and that made me successful because you have to make it work. Whereas if you've got money, you can throw it at getting a marketing team and doing big billboard campaigns. Which
you can't lose money if you haven't got any to spend.
Exactly, and you've got nothing to lose if you've got no money.
What is your current dream?
Right now, I want to educate people that they can do anything. I want to free people from like this single track that we have right now, which is go to school, go to university, get a job, which is 90% of people's paths. I just want them to have informed consent before they get a job and know that there's other options.
7 + 8 = trouble. This is fan-freaking-tastic.
In business, I've noticed that people that are really good at their job, you class these folks in a category of 9 and 10. People that are 10 at their job, you just don't want to lose. Vassos, for example, right? Clearly a 10 in your organisation. You know, got to make sure he stays. He's absolutely awesome.
Unfortunately, you're right. You're famous for stopping people on the street and asking them what their dream is.
Yeah, I love it. It's so random. So I've discovered, because I ask a lot of couples what their dream is, one person doesn't know the other person's dream. Yeah. They've not asked each other. You know, you're not asked at school. Your parents don't really ask you what your dream is. They ask you the wrong question, which is what do you want to do when you grow up? Not what problem do you want to solve, which is the question I think you should ask.
Well, talking of the USA, Martin Luther King, he didn't say, I have a plan, did he? He said, I have a dream, because it's the power of that word dream, the concept of dream. It's not called the American plan, is it? It's called the American dream. How am I saying all this profound stuff? Well, I wish it was mine, but it's not. I've stolen it from the current Sunday Times best-selling #1 book, Watch Your Dream, Find Your Passion, Love Your Work, Build a Rich Life, by a bloke who is probably loved by most people you're surrounded by. It's just that you didn't realise it. So I said over the weekend, we've got this chap on the show. My wife went, you've got that chap on the show? I said, yeah. And then my son, who's 16 soon, he said, you've got that guy on the show? I said, yeah. All my family loved him. I had no idea. Who might that be, Vassos?
He's the business genius and social media sensation who's gone from sleeping on the streets to founding 19 of his own companies and investing in over 70 startups. Now he's helping you find your passion with his new book, What's Your Dream?, out now. So please welcome the helpful hero who's anything but a damp Simon Squibb.
All right, let's hear it, Simon Squibb. All right, Si.
Hi. That was a nice welcome. Thank you so much.
How are you doing?
I'm really good. Pleased to be here.
Congratulations on your #1 Sunday Times best-selling book.
I know. I'm pretty proud. I never expected that to happen.
It's great, man. What's your dream? Find your passion, love your work, build a rich life. It's a book of 3 parts, a bit of autobiography at the beginning, and then it's all about the dream. And then you get to the bit where you say, if you haven't really realised your dream yet, let's give it a pause. But then you teach us, you tell us, you enlighten us how to maybe we can action our dream. The book's amazing.
Thank you.
I read books for a living, you know that.
Yes.
I read loads and loads of books, 300-400 books a year, have been doing for years and years and years. This is top 5, mate, honestly.
Wow, that's a big deal.
We're so good. So good.
I'm so pleased you think so, and I'm actually really proud of it. I put my heart and soul into it, and I hope it helps a lot of people.
Yeah, and you can tell. I've got a star page. Page 71 is my star page. By the way, is that your family outside?
Yes.
They can come in if they want. Do you want to come in? You can come in. Or stay outside. I don't mind. Who's there? Who have you brought with you?
My wife, Helen, who I mentioned in the book.
Lots of times.
I wouldn't be successful without her.
Yeah.
We all need someone cheering us on and letting us do crazy things. And my son, who inspires me and teaches me every day how to be a better human.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Come in. Hi, guys. How are you?
Welcome, family.
Nice to see you.
And Dudley, my cameraman, by the way, who's followed me around for the last 2 years. It's become
doing
like
a fine job. Nice to see you all. Okay, sorry to rush you up so quickly, but just want to get you on the air as soon as we can. So
thank you so much.
More and more. So your journey is in here. The famous staircase gets the mention. Do you just want to speak to the staircase for a sec?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I bought a staircase that came up for auction about 1.5 years ago. It was the first staircase ever to be for sale as a standalone staircase in London, and it just struck a chord with me that I should buy it. So I went to a property auction with my son, who's here now, and we bought it together, didn't we, Aidan? And we for some reason now we've made the staircase a little bit of a tourist attraction. People from all over the world are visiting it. Yeah. Why are people visiting a staircase? Well, because we put a doorbell on the bottom of it, and we said, if you've got a dream, go there, press that doorbell, pitch it to the doorbell, and we'll upload it to 11 million people and try and help make that dream happen. And there's a queue of people there this morning. I was just looking at the cam this morning. There's a queue of people there. Yeah, it's crazy.
And I remember in the early days of your bell, somebody contacted you and said, look, I'm organising my flight. I'm trying to get down from Scotland just to press the doorbell.
It's crazy. People are coming from from France, Italy. We had some people from New Zealand the other day. I think they were coming here on holiday anyway. That's my guess.
Yeah.
But I guess the problem is that if you've got a dream, where can you go and get help with that dream? There's
Right.
not enough places, is
So
there?
speak to that word dream. In your book, you do say, Martin Luther King, he didn't say I have a plan. He said I have a dream.
Yeah.
And it's the dream, it's the word dream, it's the concept of dream that liberates you from any of the sort of ball and chains that
Exactly.
might be around it that stop you from getting there in the first place. So you say start with the dream and let's go back from there.
Yeah, if you can start with a dream, because most of the time you get judged if you have a goal, right? I'm going to lose 10 kg, and if you don't, fine.
Yeah.
People will say, oh, you didn't do it. I think with a dream, it can be really aspirational, and there's slightly less judgment, which allows you to air it. So one of my dreams is to fix the education system, and so some people don't think it's broken, and other people see that it is, and it needs an update. So I think it kind of allows you to speak without judgment.
And so what you're famous for is you're famous for stopping people on the street and asking them what their dream is. And then what happens next? Well, it's anybody's bet, isn't it, really?
Yeah, I love it. It's so random. And people, by the way, maybe someone listening today wants to try this, just ask your partner what their dream is. I've discovered, because I ask a lot of couples what their dream is, one person doesn't know the other person's dream.
Yeah.
They've not asked each other. You're not asked at school. Your parents don't really ask you what your dream is. They ask you the wrong question, which is what do you want to do when you grow up? Not what problem do you want to solve, which is the question I think you should ask. You'll be surprised at how much you find out about someone when you ask them their dream. And that's what I discover when I ask people in the street.
And can you give us like a sort of the rainbow of various responses? The 7, 5, 3, whatever you want, most diverse responses.
Well, it's really interesting because I think you can see where people are within their kind of free mind state. So, of course, a lot of people, their dream is to be rich. That's of course up there as you'd expect. Own a home, which is literally a dream, almost an impossible dream for young people now. I think the ones that I think will allow people to own a home and own their time is ones where they want to open up a coffee shop. Now, I know when people listen to this, I'm like, open a coffee shop, that's really hard. But to some people, they just want to be a part of their local community. They want to hang out each day, make a bit of money just doing what they love. It doesn't have to be the next big coffee chain. It's just doing something where they can connect to others and bring joy to others. A lot of people I meet want to be comedians. They just want to bring a smile to people's face. Not everyone wants to be Elon Musk. It's not always about opening up something big that's going to change the world. It can just simply be something that brings a little bit of joy to people's lives.
A dream is not what is your goal in life. This is page 35. It's not what do you want to achieve. It's not what's your biggest ambition. And then you sort of help people to sort of identify a dream if they have an issue with that problem.
Yeah, I think that a lot of the time people are living in fight or flight. They're just trying to get through the day. And I was like that as well when I was younger. But I just want people to take a moment to really dig deep into who they are, what problem they might be able to solve in the world, and enjoy the journey a bit. Because I do think right now, with the cost of living crisis and all the other burdens that we find ourselves caught in, that we sometimes get so wrapped up in those problems, we don't have time to dream. And it is a part of your brain you need to activate. It's not. If you're in fight or flight, you're just about survival. Whereas the dream part of your brain is aspirational. You just need to give yourself a bit of space to think.
Yeah, I mean, I love the book. I loved it. Honestly, I read it yesterday. I was telling Tasha, I said, "This is killer." She said, "God, I went quiet for ages and ages. She forgot I was in the next room to her. She said, it's a good one." I said, "It's a great one." She loves you anyway.
Oh, that's nice.
These 3 questions. Question number 1: what are my likes and dislikes? This is if you're not sure about your dream.
Yeah.
What are the other questions? And there's a bonus question.
Yeah, I think just asking yourself truly who you are. Not what other people think you are,
Yeah.
whatever judgment there is. Like when I was 14, I remember someone asked me, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I said a lawyer. Now I'm dyslexic. Now where did that come from? I like to talk. That's it. So
Yeah.
it doesn't make me a lawyer.
LA Law, probably.
Maybe, yeah, a little bit of TV that definitely played a part.
Yeah,
but
massive.
also my parents. They wanted me to be a lawyer, and I think that for me was the kind of realization of who I am didn't happen till I was 15.
True nature as well.
Yeah, and I
isn't
think
it?
you've got to ask yourself, what you are genuinely enjoying. Again, at school, a lot of the things that school teach you, you've got to actually do the opposite in the real world. Like, for example, don't sit and do an exam on your own. When you're older, you get people to help you to do things. Right? I think the same at school. You get trained to think that it's all about what you're going to do, not what problem you're going to solve.
Yeah.
So I think just reframe your life around not what you're going to do when you grow up, but what problem you're going to solve. I think that's the key.
What is my pain? Question number 2. Question number 3: how can I help others?
Yeah, pain's very important. There's sayings out there I really don't like the if you don't pay, you don't pay attention. That's put out there by people selling you courses, just trying to get you to pay for the course. The truth is, the more pain you have, the more you pay attention. Pain equals attention. So for me, at 15 years old, when I left school, I'd been in school 12 years, but I didn't know anything about money. I didn't know how the world worked. Everything I needed in the real world was not taught to me in those 12 years at school. So I felt, a little bit let down by school. And I think that pain still sticks with me now. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing now. That painful time where I was going through hardship and I was homeless and I was trying to figure out how the world worked, I don't think that should be a problem anymore. I think with all the knowledge on the internet, it should all be in one place. So if someone needs that knowledge, it's there. So that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, and that's what drives me. And I think that everyone has pain in their life of some sort. It could literally be you got a puncture this morning on your bike on the way to work and there was no way of getting the puncture fixed. It literally can be that sort of small pain and big pain. The bigger the pain, probably the bigger the outcome. But if you use pain, you can really drive your life forward.
Absolutely. Bonus question, how can I be sure?
Well, being sure is kind of about testing it. So if you're enjoying something and it doesn't feel like work, like I know Vassos loves to run, building a business around running wouldn't be a problem for him, I think, probably doing a garment line around running so you don't chafe when you run. Like Gymshark, exactly. Probably a lot of the stuff where you're enjoying it. That's what I think you need to test if you're really enjoying it. A lot of people pitch to me their business ideas and it's very much like fill a market gap. This business isn't being done, fill a market gap. It's kind of the wrong way to think about a business. You should literally think like, what do I enjoy doing? And if I did it all day long, I wouldn't mind. And I get that vibe because I've been listening to you guys every single day since I moved back to England 6 years. My son and I literally, don't we, Aidan? Every morning we listen to you guys.
Aidan.
No, he loves it. He loves it. But you guys enjoy it. Yes, it's successful. Yes, you make money now, but it's not really about that. It's about enjoying the journey. And a lot of people are forgetting that, I think.
Your book made me think a lot at the weekend. I wish I'd have known about some of this stuff years and years ago. But then again, I wouldn't be where I am now and we're all exactly where we're meant to be, etc., etc. Your star page is, in my mind, I always pick a star page out of a book. Yours is 71. We don't have time to get into that now, but just have a look at page 71 if you buy the book in particular. Page 155 is the most interesting page in your book because for the first time ever, and I've never, ever, it's so you this. It's so you. I've never, ever witnessed an author advising people not to go and reading the rest of the book.
Yeah. I thought, well, that page in particular, this is where you kind of need to have your dream in mind to go to the next stage. Yeah.
That's so ballsy.
Yeah. Well, I don't read much, but when I was younger, I used to read the books where it says, if you want to go here, go to page 104. If you want to go there, go to page 127. Yeah. I always like that, like where are you on your journey? Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool. Why is 3 the magic number?
Why is 3 the magic number?
Yeah.
Why has that jumped out of my head? What is 3 the magic? I think I need to read the book again.
Yeah, 3 is the magic. 3 is the magic number. Let's say you've been doing all the things that I've suggested in this chapter. You've done your mind map, studied your market, established contacts and potential partners, and dabbled in marketing. Hopefully, you've also made your first couple of sales. Now, you're probably wondering at which point is this real? When can I say it's no longer a hobby or an experiment, but actual business? I think that's when you get your third order.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you for reminding me. Yeah, no, I think most of the businesses that I've built, all I've ever had to do is get 3 customers to believe in me, because then they'll recommend me. If I've done a good job for them, they'll tell other people. So you only need 3 customers. So most of the videos that I do with people on the street, I try to be their first customer. Now, your first customer can be luck. You bumped into me into the street. The second customer you can do just by sheer asking enough people. The third one tends to be someone that actually needs your service. Yeah. And if they're happy, then you've got a business.
Yeah, there's a lot of magic 3s, isn't there? Because in the festival world, we say the first one you put on will lose money. Hopefully, the second will break even, and the third will make money. That's another example of that. There are loads. Again, they've slipped my mind now, but there are loads of rules of 3.
I've just got to say, by the way, when you mentioned, I've been to Carfest the last 2 years. Luckily, you've let me speak there. You have done such an amazing job there, and I don't know if all the tickets are sold out, but they certainly should be.
We need to talk about that because apparently you've got travel plans that might get in the way of you. No,
I'm going to definitely come. I spoke this morning to my wife, and she's let me change our travel plans. I'm definitely coming to Carfest. Yeah, she's the boss. Yeah, it's all good. We're definitely. Honestly, though, I just have to say, I went to the Carfest, of course, the last 2 years. It's blown me away what you've built there and how many people that event helps. Not just the people that go to the event, of course. It's the success, the financial success now that you've had, and how you give that money to help people. It is mind-blowingly impressive.
I want to talk to you about that over a cup of tea.
I'm ready.
Off the air. Is that all right?
I'm ready.
Okay, because I'm serious. I've got a serious conversation to have with you about that, which I think you'll like. It's going to be serious and seriously fun, hopefully. Tell us about I'm James and I'm John, and we clean places nobody asks us to clean.
Oh, these guys
Such
are
a good
brilliant.
story. This is a great story, man.
Oh, honestly, it's probably worth going to watch the story online. I put their whole story up online. And James and John, who basically live with their mum and three brothers in literally a very small apartment. 1 bedroom, literally kitchen, bathroom, all in one room, and they want to change their lives. They hadn't seen their dad in 17 years, so they wanted to go and see their dad, and they wanted to use entrepreneurship to unlock their life. And so they came to my staircase actually and pitched their dream of starting a cleaning company. You know, this is businesses that no one else wants to do, that they've made fun, and now they clean places that no one else wants to clean. And here's the brilliant thing: just a few weeks ago, British Airways asked them to come and clean their plane. That's how crazy it's got now. And these guys are an online sensation. When they came to me with their idea, I said to them, look, you know, maybe make social media content alongside the cleaning company, because cleaning is actually quite a hard business. You have to sell one at a time to get a client. So they started doing social media, and now they make enough money from their social media to clean places for free. So the cleaning is free, and the social media is how they make a living, and they're financially free now and able to do what they love.
Yeah, and there was that phantom cleaning thing. Do you remember we talked about it on the show 3 or 4 years ago? People started going out. If you'd been passing a car for ages, we've all seen them, cars in the drive that haven't been cleaned. They're more mud and dust and metal and rubber nowadays. People were doing griller cleaning, and they were going overnight to clean people's cars.
Yeah, I love
just
that.
for the hell of it.
Yeah, so see,
that's funny, man.
You've got to have fun with whatever you do. I mean, some people be moaning about, I'm having to clean this thing. You know, these guys lean into it and have fun and just enjoy the moment. I think we all need to live that way.
The last third of your book, which is about how to set up a business, basically, it's more than that. But the last third of your book is better than a lot of people's whole books speaking to the same thing, because you cover it all in there. I mean, you clearly really know from a ninja level how to set up a business, and you rest on that chapter that I've been obsessed with over the last 12 months about people. You know, we are a planet that peoples. The verb of the planet is to people. You know, you get you get the right planet in the right Goldilocks zone of the universe, and it will begin to people. It's just what planets do, and the whole theory is that other planets are people, then other planets will people, because that's what happens to a planet if it gets in this Goldilocks zone. And then it gets colder and it peoples less, or it gets hotter and it peoples less, blah, blah, blah. But once the people have been peopled, then it's all the world or the human race runs on relationships. And if you're in denial of that, then you're A, an idiot, B, you couldn't be more wrong, so good luck with the rest of everything. And when you're of the mind that you are, and of the mind that we are, and you're so you meet life where it is, but also on the front foot, wherever that may be, you understand, and I didn't know this, you understand it is all about hiring the right people.
100%.
It's about aligning yourself with the right people if you want to achieve something like join a running club, because people are already running, so all you have to do is join in. It's then about the environment. But if you're running a business, there's, you know, you talk about cost in here as well, and you know, just imagining you're poor. You have a phrase for do it as if you're poor or something like that.
Act like you're poor.
Yeah, and boots and what's it?
Boots and braces probably is another saying. I can claim it.
What do you call it?
Pull up laces. That's not my saying, I don't think.
No, you talk about like bootlassing it or something.
Oh, bootstrapping.
Bootstrapping.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, bootstrapping.
No, it's my fault.
No. I get what you mean now.
Just speak to bootstrapping, and then we'll get into the other thing.
Yeah, it's basically about. Like, I've started a new business called helpbank.com, and this business, I acted like I have no money when I started it, because what it does is it makes you think innovation-wise. If you've got money, you'll see businesses that have launched with lots of money. Anyone listening thinks they need money to start a business.
Tell us about what was the big one,
true.
the $22 billion one?
Yeah, WeWorks. So WeWorks got so much money, it went bankrupt.
What was WeWorks? What was it going to be?
Well, WeWorks was meant to be a co-working space, you know, almost like a movement.
Great idea.
Elevating your life was kind of their catchphrase. But the problem is they raised too much money.
They raised too much money.
Yes, because then you're not thinking like how to make money, and you're spending the money you're given at a very fast rate. And again, for people listening, it might be a bit unrelatable, because I think what I'm trying to get to is like, I had no money when I started my first company, and that made me successful, because you have to make it work. Whereas if you've got money, you can throw it at getting a marketing team and doing big billboard campaigns, which
you can't lose money if you haven't got any to spend.
Exactly, and you've got nothing to lose if you've got no money. So I always now, when I start, I don't want to think, well, if I start this business and it doesn't work, I'm going to lose all my money. I think like I've got nothing, and then I've got nothing to lose, and then you take more risk, and risk is how you get more success. You know, the saying out there that is not true is the harder you work, the luckier you get. That is actually not true.
Yeah, you've got lots of those now, haven't you?
There's a lot of false truths that we believe to be true. It's actually nothing to do with hard work. It's the more risk you take, the luckier you get. You only need to take one big risk a week.
Yeah.
Start a business, do something that you feel that you can, that's uncomfortable. Then you can be successful. But a lot of people won't take risk, but they'll spend long hours working, and that's how you
they
you
think
break
that
free.
equals risk.
Well, yeah, I just think that people don't realise how amazing they are.
Yeah.
A lot of people listening won't realise that if you've got no money, you've actually got an advantage because you've got nothing to lose. So go for your dreams.
Well, you said it's unrelatable, but it's not, because I've got a mate, and I always quote him, and he's doing all right now, but he got a £10,000 small business loan, and he spent $9,000 on the van.
Right.
He didn't need to.
Just rent the van.
It was renting the van. It was a weekend business as well, so
Yeah.
it wasn't like a daily business.
Yeah.
So what do you think of my new van? I said, worst van I've ever seen.
Right.
My least favourite van. He said, why? And then I said, do you want to know why? So I told him. Anyway.
Well,
I sort of know.
You do know. I followed your career. You don't realise, actually, you personally been quite a big inspiration for me. In 1997, when I was 23, I moved to Hong Kong, and you just moved to Virgin. And I remember thinking at the time, wow, someone's going to go and start their own radio channel, you know? And that was inspirational. So you've been inspirational to me. I always love to hear stories of people that have tried to do crazy things.
Yeah.
The idea of leaving an established radio channel and coming and starting your own, like, that's brilliant.
I know.
And I wish more people would go out there and have great stories. Even if you fail, they're great stories.
Even if you fail. Right, here's back to the to the whole thing about human beings. 7 + 8 equals trouble. This is fan-freaking-tastic. This is like a golden rule for business.
Yeah.
Tell us about 7 + 8 equals trouble.
Okay, so it has to be put in context, otherwise people might get offended. But I in business, I've noticed that people that are really good at their job, you class these folks in a category of 9 and 10. People that are 10 at their job, you just don't want to lose. Vassos, for example, right? Clearly a 10 in your organisation. Got to make sure he stays. He's absolutely awesome.
Unfortunately, you're right.
Yes, I know. I listen. He carries you in this show.
Tell me about it.
But then you have people in your organisation sometimes that in business structure called ones and twos. Now, actually, ones and twos often they're not good at their job. Now they know they're not enjoying the job. They know they shouldn't really be there. They got the job by luck or by chance or by mistake. Their boss is bad. They don't enjoy the job. So you both know, and it's easy. You both leave, right? One person gets fired, the other person quits. It works well. The problem in business is a lot of people have what we call 7 and 8s in their business, and these are people that were almost 10s sometimes. Some days they're 10s and other days they're 5s. They don't really love the mission of the business, but they're there because it's a paycheck. Yeah. And you have to be careful. You don't want to be a 7 and 8 if you're listening and you know you're a 7 8. Somewhere else you'll be a 10. Doing your own business or going to work somewhere else, go be a 10.
You've got something if you're 7 or an 8.
Exactly, but something's holding you back. It could be a bad boss. But equally, if you are an employer, sometimes, and I've made this mistake, you keep 7 and 8 on the system because they're almost good enough. And to find someone new is going to be effort. Yeah. But the problem is, if the 7 and 8 stays, they often drop down to a 5 and 6, and the 9s and 10s leave. Because they think that...
Yes, that's the most important thing, isn't it? If you have too many 7 and 8s, the 9s and 10s go,
exactly.
What's the point?
Exactly. If I was here with you every single day, I'd be a 7 and 8, and Vassos would be a 10. He'd be like, I'm not hanging around with a 7 and 8 anymore.
No, I think Vassos will stick around. I think he'd be fine with that. No, but you're so right about the 9s and the 10s.
Yeah, it's a problem. And again, it's just business education, which I wish school was teaching, because all of this is learnable.
General accountancy, or what to do with money, or what not to do with money. Like we were talking before you came on today about the fact that in your book it says property is not a good investment unless you're a property developer, and we were brought up saying buy a house, it's gonna be fine.
I know.
Not only is especially if you can pay cash for a house, it's money in the bank. It's rainbows all round, but it's just not the case.
It's not the case. Actually, the property side, this is one area I get a little bit of hate online for, because I don't like the property business. Monopoly was invented. I don't know if you know the story about the invention of Monopoly. It was invented by a woman, very clever woman, and she was basically trying to show the problem with making property a business. So she did 2 boards. One board where the land was owned by the people and you live forever on the board. And she was trying to show how good that was. And then Monopoly, where you sell it and buy it, ends up one winner, right? And it won't be you, it'll probably be BlackRock. It won't be you. And I think the problem with property is we've come to believe it as an asset class. It's not, it's a basic human need. And the biggest problem today is not only the homelessness crisis, which is crazy now, right? 300,000 people homeless in England alone, right? And on top of that, a nurse can't afford to buy, and a nurse can't afford to rent, and we can't afford to pay a nurse more. So what's happening? Nurses having to go on food stamps. Property should not be a business like this. Yeah. It's got out of control. And I'm a capitalist, by the way. I believe in starting businesses that make money. But people won't say property business. It's changing a lock on the door and overcharging a nurse in my head. And we can do better. There's better things to build. There's better things to make. There's better things to do in this world that brings value, not causes people pain.
So listen, I don't know where you think you are, but there's clearly there's work to be done here, and there's heights to be scaled. Your book is number 1 in the Sunday Times bestseller list. What's Your Dream? You have so many fans. Your most popular videos, or your most striking, profound videos, have been watched by tens of millions of people. What are you going to do? I mean, I know you've been asked this before, but what is your current dream?
Right now, I want to educate people that they can do anything. I want to free people from this single track that we have right now, which is go to school, go to university, get a job, which is 90% of people's paths. I just want them to have informed consent before they get a job, and know that there's other options.
Do you think there's a chance you can tour the staircase? Like they took the Dippy, the dinosaur, they took it around the country.
Right.
Could you put the staircase on the back of a
Interesting
flatbed?
idea.
Why not? The staircase will be in Birmingham on Monday. It's going to be in Bristol on Thursday.
Yeah. It's just we just started a partnership with Sir Richard Branson, and we have put the doorbell. Him. Yeah, he's also one of my inspirations, along with you. We just started putting the doorbell in other locations. So we just put the doorbell at the Virgin Hotel in Shoreditch.
Yeah.
You can go there now. It's a second doorbell.
Love it.
And Richard Branson's watching all the clips, and myself and Richard Branson will put you up on our social media pages. And so we're going to take the doorbell on tour around the world. That's the staircase might be hard to get on a plane.
Yeah,
for example,
fun though. Fun.
Yeah.
You've never let things like that stop you before.
No, you're right. I shouldn't.
What is wrong
by the
with
way,
him?
That was
It's
a limiting
Monday
belief.
morning.
That was a limiting
Even
belief.
Simon can have an off day.
Yeah, that was. You corrected me. You're right. We'll get it on a plane.
Talking about a plane, the staircase. You take your staircase to the airfield, and your staircase goes up against the plane, and we climb your stairway to business acumen heaven.
Wow, this is going to go viral. This is a big idea. Yeah. Have you seen this? So it's 5 stories high, encased in glass.
It's fine.
I think health and safety would freak out in England.
This is not the Simon Squibb I know and love.
No, you're right. No, I've got
Simon,
to.
I do know, and I do love you. I love
appreciate
you to death.
you.
I think you're amazing. I think you're an amazing human being, and you have a sparkle in your eye that not many people have online. I was going to say nowadays, but ever have. You are the real deal, my friend.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
You're awesome. You're awesome.
Appreciate you so much.
Watch your dream, find your passion, love your work, build a rich life. It's out now. It's already number 1. We had loads of clips to play. We haven't got any time for that because I'd rather talk to the man himself. Thank you. 1,000 thank yous. We've got to have a cup of coffee because I've got to talk to you about Carfest. It's really important. Carfest future.
Let's do it. Everyone should buy a ticket.
All right, carfest.org. All right, round of applause for Simon, please, and his wife, and little Aiden, and his camera guy. All right. I've got to go. I've got to leave before you. I've got to go and see Blemmin' Bridget Jones 17 or something. All right, goodbye, everyone. Have a nice everything. See you tomorrow. Bye.